Now
Now
it's
it's
time
time
for.
for.
Innings Academy.
So last week we talked about different cards and stuff, and today we're just gonna give a brief look at our individual teams, me and Jordan's teams, and just look at them because that's another thing that's fun with 9 innings is to kind of track your progression over certain amount of time. Like for us, we've been playing this game for a few years, so we've seen a whole bunch of progression as the game itself's changed, as our teams have changed, as all these different things have evolved. But we'll be just briefly looking at that.
Yeah, man. Starting us off here with the starting pitchers. My specific team, I've got a few legends and then a few team sigs. So my ace right now, I've been moving my pitchers around. Right now, I'm rocking with Tom Seaver as my ace as a legend.
Yeah, my rotation is it's solid. It's still work in progress. I got multiple team sigs. I have a legend in there. I also have a supreme. Though starting pitcher supremes aren't as useful as position player supremes. But my ace, probably my Max Fried at the moment. My team sig Max Fried. Though if I get whenever I get ace off of my Glavin, who's my currently my three man in the rotation. He also has ace on him. And now ace works is that's the ace pitcher. So that skill, you don't necessarily want multiple of them. It actually makes the effect not as good. But I have it on two players, but eventually I'll get that off and Freed will be much, much better.
Yeah, for sure. And then my second and third guys are also legends. I've got Juan Marichal and I've got Early Win. Those
Now,
two guys. I love that name, by the way,
oh
Early
yeah,
Win.
early win. Now I
Hmm,
also have to say I do technically have the best Braves Team Six starting pitcher in Chris Sale 24. So that's also nice. He's nasty. He
true.
doesn't have a like none of my starters outside of my legend obviously have triple three legend sets, but I don't know. Sale's pretty nasty because some seasons he'll be really close with Freed in terms of ERA, and Freed has ace on him, so it's certainly interesting. Sale's pretty nasty.
Yeah, man. And who's your third guy again?
My third guy's glad.
Tom Glavine. That's a legend as well, right?
Yep.
Nice, nice. That's a nasty card there, man. I've been wanting that card for a while, but haven't been lucky enough to pull him. Probably never will, to be honest with you. But um, yeah, my last guys in the rotation, I got a team sig Charlie Morton and the same as Spencer Strider as well.
Then in my fourth spot, I have Mike Soroka. He's decent. I'm still reworking skill. I'm trying to roll PSCTs on, try to rework his skills because his skill set is not ideal. It's only a 3-3-1 control master set, but and to finish it off, I got Greg Maddux, my supreme. He's all right, but again, that's
Hmm.
also only a 3-3-1, and he has Mr. Perfect, so it's decent. I mean, they all have diamond trainers and whatnot, but you know, working on some stuff there.
Yes, sir. And I believe you got a better bullpen than me. I've got as my setup guys, I've got Billy Wagner with a 3-3-3 bullpen day, and then Greg McMichael with a 3-3-1 bullpen day as well. None of these are SIGs either. It's just a prime and then a vintage there.
Now, my pen is very solid on paper. Now, certainly they'll be much better with better skills. I don't have great skills on any of these guys yet. Setup, I have two team sigs with my main setup currently being Dylan Lee, and the second setup being Rysel Iglesias, who has a 3-3-2 fireball set. Still need to roll a blue on him to get a solid third skill, but even without that, he's still solid. So I have two team sigs in my pen, and I at some point I also have Luke Jackson as a team sig that I can GI at some point to bolster that pen even more. But now I'm starting to finally get where my pen's starting to look a little decent, especially once I get some better skill up.
Yeah, man. Unfortunately, the middle relievers, not that important in this game, but I've got my Bricella Glacia Sig in there right now. He's just got a terrible set on him. His backup set is a 3-3 bullpen day. That's why I'm not rolling it on his backup set. But yeah, those middle reliever guys not as important. I got Chris Martin, AJ Minner, and then for my guy with B Cam as a long reliever, I got Steve Bedrosian, that vintage back there.
Yeah, again, my middle reliever is not necessarily ideal. I have that prime Kimbrel. He's decent. He was a setup for just until now. He was my closer for a bit a few years ago. He's decent. Then I also have McMichael, Bedrosian, and then I have at long relief I have Wagner, who it's not the prime Wagner, but it's because he's my pitchers king guy.
Yeah, and that's understandable. And then I know you have the most disgusting closer ever. Mine is that prime Kimbrel you were just talking about. Mine has a 3-3-2 bullpen day elite
Mm.
closer and cleaning up your mess. So he performs pretty well, usually sitting around that 1.5 ERA in 34.
Yeah, my closer is a legend, Bruce Sutter. He's solid. Obviously the 3-3-3, but it's I believe a fireball, Dom and elite closer. So he puts up great numbers.
Man, that's a nasty card there.
Yeah.
And then moving on to our offensive guys here. My leadoff guy, I have the best Braves offensive sig, which is Acuna 23. And he could be better. He's usually sitting around that 1,000 OPS mark in 34 with a bad ball hitter 3-3-1 set.
Now for me leading off, I got a Supreme. I have three Supremes in total. We'll get to the second one in a second, but I have Jim Rice. He's solid.
Mm,
He has 5 tool on him. So he'll steal like 50 bags a season. He'll put up decent numbers. His
agree.
OPS will sit up like your Acuna about 1,000 or so, but because of 5 tool, it's not it's a decent set. I believe it's like a 3-3-2 Born to Be Star, but he puts up numbers, man. Especially with that 5 tool. 5 tool on a Supreme is just it's a cheat code.
Oh yeah, it's disgusting, man. Absolutely filthy. All right, let's go just through the heart of the order here. I've got next up my legend Mel Ott with a 3-3. Obviously, it's a pioneer set. He's usually around that 1,000 mark as well. In the three hole, I've got who I think is my best bat, and that's Austin Riley, 22 sig with a 3-3-2
Mm.
strategist set. He's usually around a 1,200 OPS there in 34. And then in the four hole, I've got Andrew Jones Sig, which I just was working on a bit the other day. He's got a 3-3-2
Mm.
Pioneer. He's sitting around 1,100 OPS right now through about half a
Now
season.
my 224 is solid. My two spot is my second Supreme, my Harmon Killebrew. Now he's a big work in progress because he is my only player right now who has a 3-3-3 set, but that's on his second skill set, his second skill
Mm,
slot because I'm still trying to roll blues to get a final set, and that's a 3-3-3 chance maker set. So it's not the
mm.
best set necessarily, but it is a 3-3-3. So I'm kind of curious just to see how that'll do. Then I have Freddie 20, one of the best Braves team sigs out there, just right behind Acuna. But he has a 3-3-2 bad ball hitter, but he put up like a 1.2 OPS and 34 every season. He's just disgusting. I don't know why, but whatever he has, man, he's nasty. And then in my four hole, I currently have Acuna. Not nastiest Acuna, but he's solid. He'll put up around 1,000 FPS.
Nice, man. That's just what you want to see out of the heart of your order there. Uh, I'm gonna go ahead and obviously we know we got the catcher last. Let's just go up through the 5 through 8 hole here. Um, I've got in my 5 hole a Matt Olson sig. Not his best year. It's a 3-3-2 Pioneer set, so he's usually around like a 1050 OPS. Not terrible. Um, and this is where it gets pretty bad here. I've got a Ozzy Albies Prime. He's usually around like a 950, 900 OPS guy. He's got a 332 hard hitter with the only reason he's good is because he's got the hard hitter diamond skill trainer on there. So that really boosts him up a good
That's
bit.
nice.
And then, yeah, yeah, very nice. I've got another legend here in my seven spot, which is interesting because you would expect him to be higher as my DH. I've got Jim Tome, 332 bad ball hitter prediction set. For whatever reason, he's only sitting around like a 870, 850 OPS
Wow,
usually. Sometimes dips down into the 700s even, which is
real for a legend.
unfortunate. But yeah, it's surprising. But uh, in the eight hole, I've got a Dansby Swanson Prime with a 331 Born to Be Star. Not a great card, man. Not a great set. Nothing too great on him, but he's usually around a 700 OPS guy. So who you got there, Josh?
My five spot, I got a legend Roberto Clemente. He's
Hmm.
solid. He puts up decent numbers. Now, hopefully, he currently has to play the outfield because of another guy I'll mention in a second. I don't have my DH slot open yet, but soon, hopefully, I have a Hayward currently that I can put in at outfield, and when I do that, Clemente will be moved over to DH. So then I can fully train him for DH. But he'll put up an OPS around 1,000. Then I have a Dansby Swanson. He's all right, not the best skills, so I'm not even gonna like he'll only put up about a 800 900 OPS, but he's more of a defensive guy. Then I have my Matt Olson, who has a nice hard hitter set. 332, but he's my DH. He puts up decent numbers. He's not a prime Olsen, but I've never swapped him out for a prime Olsen just because I don't know, mine does solid for some reason. And I have a diamond skill trainer for him as well. Even though it's kind of a stupid one, it's just basically gives you a higher chance of getting hit by a pitch. So I don't know why that is. Um, then I have
All right.
prime Ozzy, who's he all right, but nothing great.
Yeah, I mean, once you get up to those later seasons, like 33, 34, especially once you hit 35, you're gonna pretty much need Team Sigs, Legends, or Supremes to be able to compete there. Speaking of Team Sigs, I'm gonna go ahead and flex my catcher here. I pulled a Joe Torre, Team Sig. Obviously, your catcher doesn't really matter that much, but I've got laser beam and five tool on him. Not a legend set, so we're just chilling with that right now. Obviously, his bat is not good. He's usually around about a 500 OPS. So it's your catcher though, so you're really just looking for fielding on him and makes your pitchers all better. Interestingly enough, here, uh, usually my Joe Torre averages around 10 stolen bases a
What?
season.
10 stolen bases
Yeah.
for your catcher. No,
Mm-hmm.
I have the same catcher, just not as a sig, but basically all the same skill stuff too. He has laser beam, and whatnot, but high fielding. Now, I think next week we'll try to dive into our club system, sort of look into that. But I think that's about it for the Innings Academy today. We're just looking at our teams and different pools and stuff. Hopefully we can get soon. Maybe we'll pull a nice team sig. We can talk about it on here, very briefly. But like I said, next week we'll be talking about clubs, a very important and influential way to move up, to get some sig packs. That's where you can do your club crafting, and maybe even talk a little bit about how we kind of built and started our club system that now has two different clubs, and we have a full Discord full of about 30 people, and it's quite active and fun. And the different things you have to do for trying to advertise your club and try to get different people to join and whatnot. It's certainly interesting.
Yes, sir. But that will wrap up our segment of
Innings Academy.